Now, brothers and sisters, we are out here at the lovely beach. Yes, we are. And as Shakespeare once said, the whole world is a set. Now, let me explain. Right now, we are living in the perfect timing in the Bible. Now, how do I mean? Well, there's plenty of ways that I can explain this, but I have the best way of explaining it. So right now, it is the perfect time and set to raise the vibrational frequency of the world. Yes, the vibrational frequency of the world. So we have this, the COVID-19 virus, right? We have President Trump. It only took one president to unite the whole entire, all of America, pretty much. We have the whole theory with Russia, blah, blah, blah with Trump. That's not the point. Right now is the perfect timing to raise God's army. Because, as it says in the book of Revelations, 1/3 of the people are going to be wiped off the planet. Now, when I say 1/3 of the people, I mean a literal 1/3 of the people. This means all people with ill intent are going to be wiped off this planet. So, right now is the time to understand that this is not by accident. All that's happening is not by accident. It's so perfectly in line and in tune with God's plan and the frequency. Now, let me explain into further details. So, this was a whole test to see how far they can take it. How far who can take it? The government, trying to play us as Americans. Well, this is where God's plan has been waiting to pounce like a puma on the world and to stop it from destroying itself. As I said, Shakespeare once said, the whole world is a set. The whole world is a set. So, with that said, it's time for God's children to rise together. Because united we will stand, and divided we could fall. Now, either way, we're not going to fall, because I know my people. I know my people. It is time to really take into consideration what's going on and the tyrannical government that we have been letting go. We have put into power. It's time to take our power back and give it back to the Almighty, which is God. Okay? We are on God's land right now, this second time. This is God's ocean. As a community, we can share it all together. Now, this is where, again, as I said, all 12 tribes are coming together. 144,000 Israelites on earth right now. Now, we have been disorganized. The Israelites we're talking about in the book of Revelation. Now, what does this mean? Well, actually it said, I believe 1/3 people also that were coming back to earth in the tribes, which are of all creeds, nationalities, sex, religion, blah, 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 religion. But you have to understand we're under one religion in the eyes of God. It's one religion. It's not just Catholicism, it's not just Christian. It's all of the above. And this is where we come together and we have the opportunity to unite. We have the opportunity right now to unite as people, to unite as one. Because oneness is key. He taught me that. A B, when I was in California. Thank you, A.B. I want to say thank you very much. He told me oneness is key. I stood in line when I was homeless at the Catholic Church. Yes, I know how homeless feels. I know how it feels. And at the Catholic Church, they took me in with open arms. They gave me a bed. They gave me food. So they gave me shelter, food, water, anything that I needed. They handed it to me with open arms. And they also welcomed me into the church. So this is now where we all need to step in together and go through with God's plan. Yeah, God's plan. What is God's plan? God's plan is the best intentions on earth. Now, as you know, in the Garden of Eden, we left the Garden of Eden, or Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden and screwed things up for the world, right? Well, this is our time to redeem ourselves. Now, how do I mean? The whole world is a set. They have stages. Now, the intelligence is being used against all governments now because they thought they were going to put us into slavery. But thank God that He existed, because you have to understand, God is one, God is love, God is grace, God is giving. But brothers and sisters, He will not be merciful on everybody's life. Now, that means 1/3 of the population is going to be wiped out. God's army, as I speak this into existence, God's army is being raised. My children, rise. We are going to raise together. We are going to rise together. And I'm telling you now, I understand the churches are closed down. You don't need to go to church to get right with God. You need to get right with your inner self. Okay? When you get right with your inner self, you realize that God is already inside of you. He's already given. God will never give you too much that you can't handle. He will never give anybody things that they cannot handle. So with that said, again, as Shakespeare once said, the whole world is a set. You're catching my drift. Okay, the whole world is a set. So it's time to go forward with the plan. We proceed forward through this journey together as one. Because right now, whether you're rich or poor, you're still in the same boat. Okay? What it means is, you're still on lockdown whether you like it or not. Now the government, they're getting scared because they realize the government's not in charge. That we as the people are in charge, and under the being the children of God, that makes us really in charge. Now how do I mean? Well, God's army is now going to rise, and we are going to make it. We're going to make Earth a better place. Again, everybody with ill will, ill intent will be washed away off the planet of this Earth. And not in a literal sense. I mean, we'll take it into our own hands, under the eyes of God, because we are children of God. It's internally. I know this internally. It's time to proceed forward with the plan. The plan is to take back what is ours. Take back God's land, because we don't have rights to the land. You understand? The government does not have rights to this land. They do not have rights to this ocean. They never will have rights to this ocean. This is all the work of God. Now I'm speaking on this topic today because the set is so perfectly aligned right now. Everything is so perfectly aligned. My brothers and sisters, and again, I know my people. We stick together as a union. United we stand, divided we could fall. Now, there are people that are going to perish. So this is the reason why I highly recommend anybody who is not right with the Lord, who is not right with their inner self, it's time to get on your knees and pray. Get on your knees and pray to God. Now, why do I say this? Because we have risen. We are back to rise this planet to the way it was intended to live. We are going to pursue God's plan. Plain and simple, brothers and sisters, this is it. We are in God's land. The government can't stop us. There's no stopping God. There's no stopping us. With that said, my brothers and sisters, it's time to rise, my children. We got this. So I want to give my thanks and praises again to the Jamaicans. They always wanted to see me prevail. They've given me the gifts to give back and to put into my work in order to make this happen. Because when you are in line and in tune with yourself, in line with 43.2 hertz, 43.2 hertz can heal your DNA strands. So it's time to not only heal our DNA strands, it's time to heal the planet and heal our brothers and sisters under the eyes of the Almighty. So with that said, my brothers and sisters, there's no stopping us. There is no stopping us now. Okay? May peace be with you, also with you. If you don't know what time it is, well now you do. And I don't need to wear a watch because I always know the time.